So within our sequence, we really wanted to design a shot that showed off a beautiful rack focus, and we chose the sequence where the woman in the green dress sees this bicycle. She can't get a cab, and she looks over, and we wanted to reveal the bike in a creative way by racking focus to it. And it's a gorgeous shot, I think, and we rack focus to it, and there's absolutely no breathing. So we wanted to run our long lens, and this was the 85, to run it through its paces in terms of focus racks to make sure that, you know, clean and smooth ability to shift focus from deep background to near foreground or vice versa without any breathing. So in the following sequence, the weather changed again. You know, we had this actress for one day, and you know, it got cloudy again. But it turned into an opportunity because it gave us another opportunity to test the lenses, and another way to test them is having them look right at headlights, and a lot of headlights. So we're shooting Our Lady in the green dress, approaching us, driving with the traffic on Park Avenue, I believe. And the camera, and it really holds up. You know, it does feel a little later in the day, but it is gorgeous. And the headlights don't flare at all, flare the lens at all. And amazingly, the lens are able to hold some color in the headlights, even though they're completely blown out. So in the final sequence, the director, Annie, and I wanted to bookend the way we introduced our first character with a reverse of our jib shot down from her place of work. And so we did that, and we wanted to do it at night to test the lenses under nighttime conditions, which are very different than daytime conditions, of course, where you're shooting very low light, often wide open, looking directly at headlights and street lights and traffic lights. And I thought these lenses performed very well because they really held, like for example, the color in the sodium vapor, you still see the yellow. The traffic lights, you see the green and the red. You see the colors of the neon are rich. And at the same time, the blacks of the underexposed areas are not milky, they're crisp and dark. And the image is overall very sharp. This was the 28. 28 I thought was a beautiful lens, performed great. And then we cut to the 85. Very nice, beautiful, flattering shot. One of my favorite lenses. There were a few effect shots that necessitated the use of a smaller camera in order to pull the shots off, and we chose to use a Lumix GH1 camera, and that allowed us, for example, we did a shot where the camera's on the ground looking up through a piece of plexi, and the two boys are chasing each other, and they ride over the bike, and it's a beautiful shot. You're looking up at this foliage, and you can see parts of the sky through it. And I thought the lenses performed great under these conditions because it's a pretty extreme condition, minimally lit, maybe a fill card. We're getting detail on them as they go over the bike. We're getting detail on the branches a little bit. And you've got the extreme white sky behind the branches, and yet there's detail and even color in the green of the foliage, which I was really happy about. So another instance where we wanted to use a tricky camera rig in order to get an interesting and unique shot was and use again the Lumix GH1 was where we rigged the camera to the bike. Now under our budget situation, we couldn't afford an elaborate rig or camera card, so on, that you might do on a larger budget shoot. Instead, we used a little hot rod rig where we rigged the camera, small sort of 35mm size camera, right below the handlebars and in one instance down by the pedals. And we were able to achieve that perfectly. And again, since it's under a low budget, absolutely no lighting. So in this low angle shot, we were attempting to get a shot where we would have the low angle of the bicycle messenger and feature the Empire State Building behind him going in and out of frame. And that's an extreme situation where he's not lit, but there's plenty of detail on his face, and you've got the Empire State Building behind him with complete detail in it. You know exactly what you're looking at. So it's quite an extreme range of exposures. The lens handled beautifully. There's no flaring from the blanched out white sky into parts of his hair or any part of the image. So I think the lens really performed well under a pretty extreme situation. Way back when I was 17, 18 years old, I was a bicycle messenger, actually with a company called Can Carriers, which unbeknownst to me at the time was my first job in film, because it was called Can Carriers because we frequently carried film from pickup to the lab, directly to the lab. So it was kind of a 360 cycle of my career, going back and shooting The Bicycle Thief with the Zeiss compact primes on the red, and shooting bicycle messengers. And in fact, we even did a camera rig on a bicycle where I rode the bicycle pursuing our bicycle messenger character, which was hilarious and made me a little nervous because I don't ride in traffic much anymore. So we rode a good 20 blocks having this camera roll with our Zeiss compact prime on the camera, and we got some good stuff. It was a lot of fun.